shown in the group. It was just me saying, like, the directing could have vastly made the episode feel different.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all this Weiss art is amazing.
Yeah.
You know it, man.
Yeah, I agree. It could have definitely. They just still need to work on their fighting. Ever since. Oh my God! Did my dog get back inside?
I don't know.
No.
Did it?
No, she's outside my room. Fucking. Oh my gosh! I think it's so loud. But no, they really are still working on the fight scene since Monty. Since Monty died.
Which sad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's my thing about that. I don't fault that to the whole choreography and animation deal. I fault that to the directing. And as I said in my comment on the post about the fight, when I looked up the directors, it showed that it was Carrie doing the directing, and then it clicked in my head like, oh, I get it. So Carrie may be one of the better writers of the show, but he certainly is not a director, because not all writers are good directors and vice versa.
He's lesser, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, get a different director. Like, Carrie can put a scene together where characters will have interactions that seem interesting and will have dynamics about them, but when it comes to actually putting a scene together, he's having trouble thinking of creative ways to do it, which gives an issue to the animators because they have to take cues from the directors on actually making the scene work.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's, I don't know. It all falls back to they just
They just need to get somebody that knows a bit more how to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people would be as mad at the talking scenes if they did the talking in a more interesting area other than just the same building that they've been in for most of the volume. Like if Ranger and all the others were out and about in Mistral and talking rather than just sitting in that living room and talking, or in their rooms and talking.
Yeah, I agree. If they weren't, if they could have really used a lot of the talking episodes to really kind of bring the town alive, because the only thing we've really seen in terms of the town is
that opening shot in the start of the volume. That's literally been it.
Yeah, that and when Crow's looking for people, but I mean that's been very just minute places that could be mean literally nothing.
Or at the very least, if they're going to talk, have an interesting situation happen. Like, I don't know if you remember when I posted this, but I posted like a little scenelet idea a while back of Weiss and RWBY seeing Jean's night training and him passing out from a fever and exhaustion. And I was thinking, yeah, that'll bring a dynamic in. It'll bring up his night training and how it's giving him some self-destruction problems. But sadly, I thought of that a bit better than the writers did.
I mean...
That was weird.
What was?
Did it cut out? Or did we cut out?
No.
Oh, he's popping in and out. I thought I heard like a mic mute right during the middle of that conversation. I was like, huh. And then he popped back in. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's the...
Oh. There.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
Oh, my.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, my Lord, that was great.
Yeah, if there's one thing I will excel at, it is impersonations. Let that be known right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was the best thing I've ever heard. Like, that was great.
That was remarkable, yes.
I'm sitting over here stuffing my face, eating a brownie, and all of a sudden I hear that. I'm like, oh my God, that was great.
I want a brownie.
It came with my dinner.
That was...
It what?
It came with my dinner.
Where did you have dinner?
I'm having a hungry man.
I can smell burgers being made downstairs. Not fair. I'm up here for the podcast. And
Right.
sucks. Son of a
And see,
bitch.
this is why I went and got my food before we started.
That's why I had a
For
minty
shit.
peanut butter and jelly.
It's fine.
I'm a
I'm
basic-
fine.
But I'm a
I had
man.
cheese.
But all right, welcome everybody to what week is this? Is this the first one for this year? It is, isn't it?
It is. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn, Marcel.
Oh boy. But
What?
yeah, there's no no camera this week, and everybody else is gonna be running this a little more than me. I got strep because my brother decided to be an asshole and fucking come back with it from fucking Austin. He didn't hear me.
He probably didn't care either.
No, he didn't.
He probably did
Son
it
of
on
a bitch.
purpose.
It's like,
It was like,
fuck them.
y'all are gonna suffer with me.
Just as I'm starting the podcast, my mom fucking calls me. Come on.
Is she like my mom, who has the most terrible timing ever? Like every time I go to the bathroom, my mom calls me. I'm like, Mom, I want to shit. Jesus.
Yes.
Well, this is getting way off topic.
Okay, let's get back on topic here.
all right, real quick. This week we have Kato, the adorable little Weiss to the side.
Yay, hi.
We have Marcel.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, God.
Hey, hello.
We have is it Wilson or Willis? It's Wilson.
Just call me Will.
Okay, we have Will to the bottom left corner, and we have Miss Naomi on the bottom right,
Hi.
and they're gonna be talking for most of this. I don't think I will, because fuck this shit. It hurts to talk.
Valid.
I'll be in just kind of here and there, just a babble.
Make
I
sure we
am
don't
on
get too
meds.
far off topic.
Oh my gosh, I'm on meds. That's why I had a minty
See?
peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter, jelly, and meds.
You will not start singing that song. I heard it all day from a kid. Oh my
I
god.
mean,
Terrible.
I
Anyway,
made
back
my,
on topic.
I made my PB&J chunky by putting the meds in the peanut butter.
God.
Here we go.
Wah,
Very
What have
good.
we
wah.
done? This is going great. Raven, you're not allowed to leave us on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't. That's like
Okay.
the biggest mistake you could ever do.
Yeah, please. The host can't leave us like this.
I'm not leaving.
Leave.
I'm
Don't
here.
leave.
It's just it's out of extreme pain and love that I'm here. But
Well, give us a topic and we'll discuss, and then when you feel it needs to be changed, bring us nothing.
okay,
No.
first things first. Her fucking shitty spear throw. Okay.
Of course.
That whole episode, we start with this shitty form, like for real.
Okay, fine. We can
Guys
start.
would be
Fine. No,
very ashamed of her.
she
Off
should be
topic,
very
okay?
ashamed. How about John's really shitty fucking attempt to kill her? You have
Exactly.
a broadsword. Why would you stab?
No,
She is on
that's
her
not what I was
knees.
getting
You
on
go for a
there.
swing.
I mean, an attempt was made.
He's Sean.
Okay,
He
okay.
sucks. So
Let's talk about the fact that John, in all his
He's an
glory,
H-Temp slave.
like, let's talk about the fact that he went after one of the most dangerous people standing in that hallway.
He went after a maiden right out the gate.
But first thing he does after, he gets his new gear and all this other shit, and he fights this giant horseman thing. He thinks he's the shit. He just goes after like there's no tomorrow. And my first thought was, what the fuck are you doing?
He's blinded by rage and hatred. That's what he was doing. He wanted revenge for Pyrrha.
Well, he's not gonna get revenge, and he knows it because you hear him say it at the close to the end of the episode. And he's like, I know I can't do anything, but if it buys them time.
Yeah, but this is. I'm assuming that's when we'll. I'm hoping we see Jean's semblance tomorrow. I really do.
or something, because I mean, it's about damn time that he does something.
Yeah, I mean, how many seasons has it been now? Fucking 5, and we have not seen jack shit.
I mean,
he decapitated an Ursa once.
we
and
saw
that was
him
it.
fail twice, actually. He had one fucking job, right? And it's to watch that fucking
watch the
door
fucking hall.
in
Right.
volume 3 and make sure nobody came through it. One fucking job.
Just one.
What-
And all
he
of
did
this
not
could've been
fucking-
avoided.
Everything could have been avoided if he would have fucking paid attention. But no. No. He had to turn around because Pierce started whining that shit hurts. No shit, it hurts. Do your fucking job. watch the fucking door, and then Cinder would never got in there.
To be fair, that is a pretty confusing situation to ever be a part of.
True.
I'm sorry. If I'm in a life-threatening situation and someone tells me to watch the door so this other chick can fucking get OP as fuck and keep the fuck out of Cinder, I'm gonna watch that fucking door no matter what. Bitch can scream all she wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't want to tap that, so.
No, not really.
No. Here's the thing, though.
It sounds like some kind of foreplay.
He didn't know what Pierre's feelings for him was. He didn't know until she went up to face Cinder alone.
No, he knew because she held his hand. Motherfucker, no. They were sitting down, and he sits beside her, and she cuddles up to him and reaches down for his hand, and then she fucking trips balls and fucking pins him to a wall. But no, he knew full damn well. Stupid ass. God, I hate Jean so much. He does such stupid shit.
He's a blonde. Leave him alone.
That is no excuse, okay? I know a blonde who's a scientist, okay? Being a blonde is no excuse anymore.
Well, you think about it. John couldn't defend the love of his life, and the other blonde in there can't keep, her hands to herself. And another blonde can't even get the woman he likes.
I hope Yang comes to the computer and takes me in the face.
I hope Barbara comes through my door and bitch slaps with me.
I hope she does too. That would be great.
Someone tweet that, please.
Dude.
Just tag me to hashtag Caterios and just tag me in it. It's basically my...
This is really getting out of hand.
Yeah.
See, Raven, this is why
it's getting out of hand.
I don't think there were hands to even get out of.
Oh, God.
I don't think there were even hands to get out of.
There's a hand to get out of.
It looked like she's been disarmed.
Oh.
God damn it, Barb!
Oh, boy.
She really let this whole thing get way out of hand. She should have gave White the hand, too. Okay, I'm done, I promise.
It's nothing but Barbara's in here.
Oh, boy. Yep.
What are you doing, Prospector? You're supposed to be keeping us in tail.
I'm flabbergasted by the quality and amount of puns thrown at me in this short time frame.
You can blame Barbara for that. She's the one that probably said all of them. At one time or another.
It's okay, at least there's no holes in you.
I'm done.
The fact that we were supposed to just talk about Cinder's shitty aim, bro.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk about Cinder's shitty aim. Or Jean's shitty aim. His one fucking job. No, what do we get stuck on? We get stuck on fucking puns. Oh my god.
Oh, I can't
She doesn't even crack her mask entirely.
He nicks
Which
it.
I was pissed about. I wanted to see that fucker crumble.
Can we point out Cinder's little bitch fit about John shipping her mask? Sorry, I'm trying to get breath back in my lungs.
Yeah, no,
I can kind of understand it. It's like this. It's like if. It's like having a. How do I put it?
Oh my god, Cinder's the Phantom of the Opera.
Kind of like if a kitten scratches a lion and the lion would immediately kill the kitten. It's like there's this one person that's so high in power to be even nicked by somebody so far below them. How would you feel if you had all of this power and then somebody that's just lower than you in every sense of the word just is able to scratch you?
I would just stab him.
I would throw a spear at them.
Exactly.
Probably
so it's understandable why
and not Weiss, but that's just me.
Yeah. Like, why Weiss? How did she know to attack Weiss?
Dude, because Ruby
was in school with him.
Yang is not somebody you want to throw a spear at, because if she blocks it, Yang would be pissed.
Yes, but here's the thing though, like the only people that know that John originally had feelings for Weiss were Team
Literally
Ruby
all of
and
Ruby.
And basically everyone in Ruby except Cinder.
But you have to remember,
but you have to remember
they spent a whole lot of time at school together. That topic could have come up in one of the episodes we didn't see. There was so much time difference between certain episodes that who the fuck knows what the fuck happened.
Yeah, but also she said she didn't even remember who he was. And
well, I mean,
Bam.
Just because they got to know Emerald and Mercury and all that doesn't mean Cinder pretty much would only really know their names if they would have been significant to them after Beacon.
Yeah, but Emerald and Mercury made it a point to know everybody to get that information for her.
Right, because they knew Cinder wouldn't give a shit to. They're supposed to remember for her.
Exactly.
All right,
they're like the little assistants. They'd be like, "Sir, you have a."
And Ruby isn't really one to keep her mouth shut, so it could have came up at any point in the day. They could have been sitting at lunch, and Ruby would have been like, "Oh, Weiss, you remember when John used to have this huge crush on you? Blah 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 blah."
Yeah, exactly.
Nora.
That could have been.
Nora's been about Chatty Cathy.
Yeah, that could have been something said at the dinner that all of them had when Yang and Weiss came back, or something along those lines.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. And then, so
what you're saying is, Ren is the bad guy because he didn't feed Nora pancakes, so she wasn't quiet. So that's why Weiss got stabbed. Is what you're saying?
Sure.
Don't you dare blame the shit on Nora. That's how you get cut.
Literally better than any other theory I could have come up with.
GG.
Brian D.
GG Nori. So.
You needed GG Nori?
So, was I the only one kind of unimpressed with, crap, I can't remember the other maiden's name now.
Vernal?
No.
Yeah, Vernal's fighting,
I like her
remember,
weapon.
at the beginning of the fight, Raven told her not to waste her power, so she's not even using power, she's just using basic combat.
I like her weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that much. Her, fucking chakrams that shoot lasers. Anything's better with lasers.
Yeah, I mean, isn't her weapon essentially what Tyrion's was, but with lasers instead of bullets?
I mean,
Tyrion's was more like a fist-mounted thing.
Yeah,
it was more melee-based. When Vernal's is a lot more range-based.
Yeah, Vernal can throw hers and all that kind of stuff, but I guess so. Yeah. But it did seem like it was just an enlarged version of Tyrion's.
Yeah, but Tyrion's thing was just to be sort of like pincers to add to the scorpion motif.
Yeah.
I'm surprised freaking Tyrion's not at that battle.
Yeah, where the hell is
he? Still has to get his tail together.
He still needs to talk to him.
He's still back in the training room slaughtering that Beowulf.
Yeah, it's
cutting into it.
That Grimm still crying.
I feel sorry for that Grimm.
Oh my god.
I can't feel sorry for that Grimm.
I felt so bad for that Grimm. He got spawned literally just to be a fucking punching bag. It's gotta be the worst.
Grimm's lives matter, okay?
Okay,
yes,
we're not going that far. Grimm life doesn't matter. Just that one. That one just got thrown in. Just that one. His guy thrown in a real shitty situation.
And that one Grimm from RWBY.
Yeah, the one.
I don't watch RWBY.
Same. So please let's not go there.
Oh no, you want to know sacrilege? Up until this point in my no.
The fuck was that?
Now,
don't ask.
Here's something sacrilegious.
Okay.
I've never had a corn dog to this day.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
And now the views for Twitch drop.
I never had a corn dog either, but that's because I don't live in America.
Corn dogs aren't that great.
America.
Corn dog is like,
they're,
if you want a corn dog, what you can do is just take the crust off your bread, and then just take a bite of a hot dog and stuff your face with the crust of a bread, and that's all a corn dog is.
Oh, so it's basically like a sausage with
I think it killed Naomi with that last statement.
Naomi, you there?
You alive, Naomi?
I'm here.
Is you okay?
I think I killed
cool.
Are you sure?
Yep, I'm totally fine. But I have one thing to say. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Corn dogs are fucking amazing.
No, corn dogs suck.
Again, I don't live in America.
I'm okay now.
Then come to America and gain the America 25 like a normal goddamn person.
That's not how that works.
Actually, later I have to show you guys because it's amazing.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on. Okay, so How do y'all feel Weiss was actually faring in her fight against a maiden not using her powers?
What's that?
I think she was struggling.
I felt like she was completely underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has the most versatility in terms of a fight, both with her glyphs and her manipulation of dust. And what does she do? Summon, 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 and not even like summons that can go out really fast, like that Orbitusk that she did back in Volume 4. She kept spamming for that knight just because it's in the fucking intro to the show.
Well, no. Remember, she did that other summon unintentionally. She didn't summon that.
No, but she summoned Orbitusk this volume. Yeah.
When she scared the shit out of Nora.
Yeah.
She?
Yeah, because they were sitting around talking and eating, and she summoned one right beside Nora.
Oh, that was cool. I gotta go rewatch that. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I agree. Why didn't she summon some smaller things just to buy her? Like, even if it's just to buy time so you can summon the knight, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, but maybe going against the maiden and just summoning one freaking...
But see, the thing is, she might not be skilled enough in summoning yet to be able to multiple summon.
That too.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Like, we know
the multi-summon could
she can summon, but multi-summoning, so at this point, it might be too much for her.
But I mean, even if she were to just summon one real quick just to assist and buy her a little bit of time just to change position and stuff, because she was on her back foot that whole fight. Like, she never...
True.
Even if it could just swing the pendulum her way just a hair, maybe she wouldn't have gotten stabbed in the back by a spear with shitty form. But
once more, she is more than just summons, though. That's the thing. She's more than just that. And
but you guys have to remember, she's going against somebody who's been literally living out in the wild with Raven, and Raven is one of the most... I'm sorry to say this, she's a badass in a sense. Yeah, she's a coward. Yeah, she's a total fucking backstabbing bitch.
Mom of the Year 2017.
Fighting skill. But no one can doubt her fighting skills. Not even Crow doubts her fighting skills. And we're talking about Crow here. So we have to remember that, yeah, Weiss may be a badass in the RWBY team, but she's still a kid. She's still in school to fight. She's fighting against somebody who's been living with Raven, who fights almost every day. Weiss didn't do that.
Also, she got stabbed by someone who was not originally involved in her fight. So she got stabbed by someone who was outside of,
But as they always said in school, you need to be aware of your surroundings at all times. And Weiss in that battle was not aware of her surroundings at all. She ran into a pool during her fight.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just kind of underutilized and beaten with the idiot stick many times.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there were a couple times that she could have had Vernal literally pinned with her glyphs whenever Vernal jumps at her. And she makes that glyph right there in front of her so that Vernal can't get the kickoff. She can manipulate her glyphs to be gravity. And so she could literally pin Vernal there.
But maybe she can't hold her glyphs while she's summoning.
But she wasn't summoning. That happened, and then they jumped, and she glyphed to do a block. And Vernal landed on her and then jumped over her. But, I mean, she's
proven to be sufficient without her summons in the first place. We have 3 volumes to prove that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to remember, anytime she went against somebody without her glyphs, ended in more injury than with her glyphs.
Well, you have to admit that she's a glass cannon. She's not...
Exactly. She's not built to take the hits. That's Yang's job. If we categorize the RWBY team into those type of categories, Yang's the tank, Weiss is the DPS, RWBY's the heavy damage. Well, no, I guess Weiss would be the heavy damage, and RWBY would be the DPS, and so would Blake. Blake would be the rogue.
Well, actually, Weiss would be on the primary. Weiss is more, I would classify as a
magic
support unit, more like a support unit. Because she can dish the damage, but you've seen her in the fight in Pain in the Town. She was supporting her teammates with glyphs and all that kind of stuff. She was, oh shit.
Yeah,
she put that glyph of time dilation on Blake.
Yeah, am I the only one that's bothered we haven't seen that time dilation since then?
I think that was more of a dust thing.
No, I don't.
No, that was a... She used that glyph with Yeah, I mean, she makes that glyph with dust, but yeah, that was time dilation.
Yeah, why couldn't... I mean, that would be so useful in a lot of things that she deals with. She hardly ever uses it.
She
used
can
it
use
that
time
one
dilation
time.
on herself.
Again, I think this is all up to poor direction, as I said earlier.
Yeah. She got hit with the lore stick, is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not due to poor direction, but you also have to look at all the other things. Like, she's literally going against somebody who fights every day. Like, if I was going against, if I went out and started to fight with,
she has more experience.
If I went out and started to fight with the drunk down the street, I'm pretty sure I could take him because he's drunk and can't really focus. But if I went up against a pro boxer, I know I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
Well, punched. Because if it's a boxer, it doesn't use kicks.
It was a figure of speech.
I know. I was making a joke. You're supposed to.
Hello.
Oh shit! Ow, that laugh hurts so bad.
There was a nice way to do that. That wasn't it.
Sorry.
I didn't know that's what we were going for. I apologize.
I was a nice person.
Was that laugh like a reference to the to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge thing? Was that laugh a reference, Kato?
No, it was Dexter's Laboratory.
Ooh, Kato boy.
Okay, let's. Alrighty.
Off of Dexter's Lab.
Oscar's and Lionheart's fight.
Yes, that was the one part of that encounter. This was the one part of that encounter that I actually liked. Because it looked good and it made a bit more sense because of the 4 people that Osmond trusted with these academies, Lionheart trusted to be the weak.
You're sounding distant.
Yeah, and muffled. Because somebody holding a pillow in your face?
Yeah. And, like, Lionheart's weapon is literally just a shield. Granted, it's a shield that can shoot dust and various other things, but it's still just a shield. And unless you're Captain America, shield's not going to do that much in terms of a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Oscar being able to wail on Lionheart like that, who's been proven to be a coward, I'll buy that.
And we also have to point out... And we also have to point out the fact that Oscar, though new to the scene, new to the battle scene, still has Ozpin, and Ozpin already said that Oscar would learn more quickly than a normal person because he would have Ozpin's muscle memory.
Right, and not to also mention that Oscar has stated in the past
the bleed effect
that he has to fight Small Grim before on his farm before Ozpin even merged with him.
Exactly. So he doesn't have like the combat training that like RWBY, Yang, and Weiss have, but he still has combat experience. Like nothing major, a few grim here and there, really no big deal. But like to go against someone like Salem, it's just like looking at that from like if I was in Oscar's shoes, I would be like, what the fuck did you drag me into? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Well, but you already had that moment in that episode when he was talking to RWBY where this is too much for me, I need to go. And then he didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is him after that, just like, okay, I'm ready to do something about this shit.
Exactly. He's had time to practice. He's had time to get his body caught up to where his mind is, pretty much.
Well, and him not caught up, more
not
advanced.
Completely caught up, but more advanced than what he was.
Yeah.
Advanced enough to wail on Lionheart.
Also, one thing, I get why like Lionheart shot like a ball of like earth and like fire dust at Oscar. Like I get why he tanked that, but in like a battle strategy type of sense, why would he tank that?
To make a point.
Because it just is. Yeah, but he just exhausted his aura. I mean, yeah, okay, I could just show you my cane, and yes, I'm Ozpin now.
Well, no, I think that was him activating his aura.
Technically, he has two sources of. Technically, he does have 2 sources of aura.
Yeah, but still, though, like, I mean,
that's actually pretty clever.
Why take that risk?
Because he wants to show that he's gotten swole.
Yeah, I know, but wouldn't it be just as cool to avoid that shot, like at point blank range, to avoid it? That would be just as impressive.
No, it was more of a psychological attack. it was showing Lionheart that he wasn't afraid of him, that he wasn't going to back down. If you dodge that, usually when you're trying to make that type of point, you take the hit to prove that you can take his hits and keep going.
I get it, but I'm just like, is it really worth it?
From a tactical standpoint, you would not take the hit. But from a point-proven standpoint, you take the hit.
Besides throwing small meteors, what else is that weapon going to be good for in terms of close range? Like, it'll block, but that thing looks more like it was designed for him to block, run, shoot stuff, block, run, shoot
well,
stuff.
he is a lion faunus.
Running straight up and beating him over the head.
No, but his faunus straight is already his tail, so he doesn't have claws or anything.
Oh, does he not?
No, his faunus straight is a tail.
Oh.
So it's more along the lines of like, oh, I'll take this one hit, but you're not going to get to hit me again. I'll run up to you, club you over the head with this cane a bunch of times. Maybe that'll rally your head around and see that this is a shitty idea.
Am I the only one that loved the fact that he asked Ozpin what to do? He's like, fight, and he just fucking leaves him on his own. He's like, it sucks to be you, kid.
I love that. I was about to point that out too, because it was just like, it was out of nowhere. He's like, what am I supposed to do? And I figured Ozpin would give him like some sage advice, like Ozpin always does. And it was just one word, fight. Like it was the most obvious idea in the world.
Yeah, like,
and he didn't take over nothing. He's like, you better fight, otherwise you're gonna die.
Yeah, it's like,
I think Ozpin would have took over if he thought Oscar was
you just made me think of something. What do you think would happen to Ozpin if Oscar died right now as he is, with like their souls still not fully merged?
He'd reincarnate again.
Yeah, he'd probably.
Yeah, I know, but
would they both go?
Like, the next body have 3 souls?
No.
That'd be horrible.
No, I don't think it works that
well, their souls haven't completely merged yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Ozpin's soul is the only one that really reincarnates. No matter if they're merged or not, as soon as whoever Ozpin's in at that time dies, his mind, I guess you could say it instead of soul, automatically goes to, well, not automatically, because Lionheart actually made a point. He was shocked that Ozpin had reincarnated so fast. So apparently there's a time on when he reincarnates.
Well, it must take some time for him to be able to find another like suitable host for this soul. He had
to have either joined with Oscar as an emergency because of what was going down, or he already had Oscar picked out.
Well, it's either that, or it just could take him a while for him to be able to communicate with the new host.
Or maybe
because there was the time difference too. Because
sorry, I just stretched my back.
No, because like the time that Ozpin died, he died at the end of Volume 3, and from that, basically that last episode, you saw time fleet from the fall into the winter time, and by the time it was coming closer to the springtime, because there's trees and everything. I mean, granted, they're on this. I think was Oscar on the same. Is he in Anima, or did he actually had to go all the way? So he was on Anima. So that time frame when he said, "Oh, I'm Professor Ozpin" in his barn, freaked the hell out of him. That was probably at least a good, at most, 6 to 8 months, at most.
I also want to point something else out. So, are we going to talk about the teaser video? Before I
haven't watched it.
What?
I haven't watched it.
The teaser video. Raven.
I mean, that's up to Marcel. He didn't watch it, but
yeah, I didn't watch it, so I'd just be here with no comments.
I mean,
well, I'm pretty sure you'd have a comment because it mixes that with the season already.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm gonna bring this up then, if it's cool with you, Marcel.
Sure, let's talk about it. It's fine.
Okay, so we saw when Oscar was getting on the train, trying to get his ticket, that Hazel showed up, and we thought that Hazel knew who Oscar was because of the way you said it, the way you talked, everything. But then we see in the teaser trailer that he had no idea. Like, that threw me off. Like, I figured he already knew who freaking Ozpin reincarnated as, because it was so the way he showed up out of nowhere, just pretty much screamed, "Hey, I know who you are. I'm gonna keep my eye on you."
No,
But then,
I thought it was just pure coincidence.
I didn't get that impression.
I thought it was coincidence and foreshadowing.
I don't believe in coincidences in RWBY at all.
That's why I think
coincidence. That's what you just said.
Well, just like when you're saying from that teaser right at the end where he starts saying Ozpin, like he was looking like that was you right there on that train station, and he was freaking pissed that he had Ozpin in his grasp and he didn't know it.
And he actually helped Ozpin even worse.
Had him in his grasp.
Exactly. But
yes, he helped Ozpin. That's why he's furious. That's why he's like, Ozpin!
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what kind of threw me off, because at first, and everybody has their perception on it, probably, but when I saw him show up in that train station, he's like, "Don't let this stop you." And I was like, "Wait, aren't you on Salem's side? Why the fuck are you helping Ozpin?" And then, because I thought he knew who he was, but apparently he didn't. So that kind of threw me off.
Because trust me, like, if I had my boss's arch nemesis let him go and I didn't know it was him, and I found out that it was his art, I would be freaking livid. I would be like, God damn it! Oh, Sam's gonna be pissed. That's why he's probably trying to make up for it and killing everyone there.
And then we have the last part of that trailer. Oh dear. Oh no.
Yeah, poor. Oh no.
Oh dear. He must know what Hazel's capable of.
Well, Ozpin already warned Oscar he is not a man to take lightly. And coming from Ozpin, that is danger if I predict it.
I consider him like the Broly of RWBY. Like, it's just hard not to see that.
His build and everything, Broly.
Yeah.
He's like, just kept saying the same name over again. Like, he's like, Kakarot. Kakarot.
In this case, would be Ozpin. Ozpin.
The only thing that was missing was for him to go, "What's your power level?"
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
That's over 9,000.
That hurt my throat. You're son of a bitch.
Jack shit.
I don't know, but it's pretty big.
Oh,
Something's not right here.
Bazinga.
Okay, so
the last time the Namekian fought, he could barely stand up to Nappa, and now he's fighting Frieza in his second form.
Oh shit!
Poor Vegeta. Poor Vegeta. Like, that poor guy. I feel so bad for him sometimes, but then I remember he's such an asshole.
Yeah, he could be quite a knob. But anyways, with
you and knobs today. What the hell?
Knobs. Fucking, they're everywhere. Fucking everywhere. But so we saw Emerald say she has no loyalty to Salem.
Cinder.
No,
she has no loyalty to.
She has only loyalty to Cinder because she owes her.
Yeah, the fuck does she owe her for?
Getting her out of the streets.
Yeah, I was about to say,
got her out of the streets doing what? Literally what she was doing when she was in the streets. She didn't do a fucking thing different. She just made her an accomplice to mass murder.
She
gave her
people
purpose.
on her back to protect her. Like, living on the streets.
She gave her purpose. She gave her a cuter outfit and a cuter hairdo.
I mean, that's all I see. I mean,
and she probably tapped that too.
Oh,
she was probably.
Oh, here we go. No, stop it.
No.
Well, it's just like someone like.
Listen, that shit makes much more sense than some other things out there.
It's just like some homeless guy being welcomed into somebody's house, given food and help gotten a job and all this. That's exactly what Cinder did.
Well, except the thing is, though, she went from just stealing gems to being an accomplice to mass genocide. I mean, is that really a better off solution?
Hey, no one said Emerald was sane.
But
or even good.
At the end of Volume 3, though, they gave her a facial expression that showed a hint of regret.
Yeah.
In what she did. We'll return to RWBY.
Whoever that person in the chat is, you shut up. Because if Weiss dies, I swear to God, I will go on a rampage and I will murder people, and then I will go I will fight to fucking Austin, and I will destroy.
You will have a corn dog.
Rooster Teeth headquarters.
Guys, nihilist Irby's. It's all full circle now.
Okay, well, let's not talk about that. Trust me, I don't want, because I will be here ranting for hours. Let's just leave that topic alone.
I've already had my mental breakdown over Weiss. I'm cool.
Yeah, I know. I was there.
I know you were there. Oh, I was cussing up a storm.
I already shared my grievance.
She had worse language than me. That's saying a lot.
I feel like I was the only person that saw that, and it was like, that's gotta hurt, but she's fine.
Your first thought was that her poor form. That was your first
Oh my god, that form. Do not get me started on her poor form. Oh my god, learn to throw a damn spear. Jeez. Weiss would be dead if she could throw a fucking spear.
It's a spear, not a paper airplane. Like, I get it. Like, yeah.
I hate this game of emotions we play.
But then again, that spear is made out of fire.
Yes.
And it's not like fire has that much weight to it.
Don't worry, Weiss.
I don't know.
I thought the spear was made out of glass.
Yeah, but it's like heated glass because,
Still glass, nonetheless.
No, yeah, but it's like hot and shit.
Well, yeah, hot glass. Well,
yeah, that's the other thing too, right? If you're trying to kill somebody, why would you throw a fiery spear that cauterizes the wound?
Maybe she's not trying to kill her. Maybe she's just trying to piss John off.
Maybe Cinder was actually just jealous of Weiss's outfit, so she was like, I'm gonna ruin that bitch's outfit. So she threw a spear at
her. Weiss, from what we've all been able to gather through our extensive contacts in the medical world, looks like she got hit in the liver, which liver deaths are like 4%. You have a 4% chance to die from liver damage.
Oh, she got me in the liver more. Get me in the liver more.
We're not going to go over the fact that I did extensive research on the human body, but we're not going to go over why.
Yeah, and like I said before, I showed the image to my parents. Are both in the medical field, and you basically really can't die from that very easily.
Yeah, and even if Weiss does survive, I still say that this was at least better worked tension than most other shonens I can ever talk about. Cough.
Probably.
That is great, Judd. You are amazing. You are amazing.
I have fucking strep and that hurt.
Like what?
Oh my god.
My mind just kind of went off.
John Craddy 1 said John Semblance is getting his friends killed.
I've heard that too.
I mean,
oh god, that's terrible.
The way I see Ruby's tensions is like this. Ruby's tension is kind of like a prop sword or a prop weapon of some kind. It looks real, and when it hits you, it certainly hurts, but it kind of goes away after a while after you realize how pointless it was to get hit by that.
No, there was definitely a point on it.
Can we point out that Ruby almost went ape shit and Emerald stopped her?
I know, gave her a fucking concussion, bitch.
Like, I don't know if Emerald did it intentionally, like she knew what was going to happen if she was there on that tower.
She probably knew.
She probably thought that she was looking away and had a freebie.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh shit, Cinder and fucking what's-her-face are screwed. And then I see Emerald throw her fucking thing, and I'm like, no, I wanted to watch Ruby kick her ass.
Also,
well,
Ruby still had her aura, so how the fuck did Ruby get knocked the fuck out?
Exactly.
Because you still feel pain.
Well, you still feel pain, but being knocked out isn't pain. That's your brain has to literally be
damaged to do that.
Yeah.
Not damage, but shock.
Yeah, like your brain has to bounce off of your skull to cause a full blown knockout like that.
Well, you can't really blame Ruby, Jen, because the last time she saw Cinder fight one of her friends, her friend ended up dead. I'd be concerned about the only person on the fucking team who can't flipping fighting one of the most powerful people there. Like, I'm just still trying to get over that. Like, oh my god, is he just...
Yeah, that's fair. Like, Blind Ranger, no, that was pretty stupid.
Mm-hmm. Like, and then he tries to...
Emerald, Ruby would have actually intervened with that.
Convenient to the plot. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, convenient. Yeah.
That's pretty much what we've come to is a lot of that happened in that is because the plot sticks felt that everybody needed to be hit by it.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I felt that. I literally stared at my screen for like a good 10 minutes in stunned silence. I was just like, that's not cool to end it like that. And then, like, literally within minutes of that happening, the Weiss admin on the RWBY page sent me a message. So, did you watch the episode? I'm like, why do you have to do this to me? Like, you know I watched it. You know I did.
Funny enough, though, I got sudden flashbacks to Red vs. Blue season 15 when I saw this current episode because Agent Wash got shot in the throat on a cliffhanger episode as well, but he ended up living. So, trends? Maybe?
Well, I mean, you just can't kill off. You can't kill off. No fucking A, that hurts so bad.
Use the words, you can do it. Come on.
But you just can't kill off one of your main characters. You can hurt them, you can maim them, but you can't kill off the main character.
Yeah.
Not without a way for them to come back. A way that everyone knows that they can use to bring them back, because otherwise you will lose your fandom.
Or if you are going to maim them,
you'll lose a lot.
If you are going to hurt them or maim them or really wound them, at least have it give some kind of permanent effect on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, there's nothing worse than watching a show and having the characters get injured only for them to come back with literally no scars, no sort of residual effect, and literally it's just the status quo.
Yeah, that's why I think they did real well with Yang, with her PTSD from the.
Yes, the subtle ways of having her hand shake and such during fights. I liked that. I liked that a lot. That's an aspect of this volume that I do appreciate. On top of chapters 4 and 10 having the best fight scenes of the whole volume, if we're being honest.
Which episode?
4 and 10.
Which volume?
For this volume, episodes 4 and 10.
Which fight scenes were those?
4.
I can actually. Well, the Belladonna fight.
Episode 4 had the one where Yang was beating up all those bandits, pretty much single-handedly.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Actually, I should say literally single-handedly because one's not real.
Literally.
But yeah, no, I remember that now because after that fight, her hand was shaking.
Oh God, Junkratty, you could not have said it better. Cough, Dragon Ball Z cough.
Yep.
Oh my God. You could not have said that better, my friend.
Because everyone dies in that show and they come back with no side effects whatsoever.
Well, here's the thing, like...
If anything, they come back even more powerful.
Like they said it best.
My final form.
They said it best in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Now we have 2 sets of Dragon Balls. Yeah, well, you're making it sound like death has no consequences. It really doesn't.
Nope.
But here's the thing. If any anime has taught me anything, if you don't see them die on screen, they're probably still alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell, this is Chaozu's second time. Next time I get a free Sunday.
You are really good at that.
What I missed?
Struck by lightning. Didn't die. Crazy Thursday.
Nora. Love Nora.
Oh my God, I
love
love
line
it.
from Nora ever.
No, my favorite line from Nora will always be boop.
That's everybody's.
Yeah, that's like, basically like that's my plan B.
Boop. It's so popular. It's so popular. It's spread over to Overwatch. Cough, Sombra.
I know.
Yeah.
Sombra. Boop.
I've never played Overwatch.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Yeah, essentially. Although, did you hear? Never mind. Off topic. Okay, back to. Woo! Almost got. Yeah. Gosh, damn it! Now I forgot where I was going. We got to start talking about games, and now my mind. Fuck. Chicken. Fuck! Now I can't remember. You done fucked me. Gosh damn it! You and fucking Overwatch.
I remember fucking you.
Oh my God. I'm pretty sure that's something we would all remember.
So let's talk about Raven and Crow.
Thank you. That's where I was trying to get.
In the fight?
I hope Crow stabs her in the tits.
They vanished in the fight. Where'd they go?
Let's point out the fact that Raven could open a portal to Cinder.
No, she probably opened it to Vernal because she came through too.
Yeah, Vernal came to the same portal.
Also, again, as I
the first person we saw step through was Cinder, so.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it wasn't to her. It was to her, the portal.
Yeah, Vernal has to be the last person to go through, otherwise there's no portal.
Was Vernal the last one to come through the portal?
I think her and Mercury were the last two to walk through. Like, I think they came through at the same time.
I need to check this, because I need to check this.
I still think Crow's going to win that fight against Raven in a one-on-one
I mean,
fight.
his semblance should guarantee him a win against Raven, but we don't know.
I just want him to stab her in the tits. Because seriously, fuck Raven. Because I hate her.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, no, no. Raven's an ass. She's 100% an ass. But yeah, no, with Raven Crow, as we thought last week, pretty much it came down to they're not family anymore. And then we had that exchange between RWBY and Raven, where Raven really pointed out how RWBY sounds like her mom. I've had the thought that Summer was supposed to go out after Raven, and that's when Summer got killed, and that just kind of that shows a bit of disdain between Raven and Summer. But that's just a personal theory. But
Taeyang was in a relationship with both of them, so that can't possibly have fostered goodwill between Raven and Summer.
Raven got her killed for stealing her man. Raven got her killed for stealing her man.
I mean, even if she wasn't jealous, that can't have possibly be. They couldn't have possibly have a good relationship after that.
Well, I don't think that had really a change in it, just due to the fact that Raven doesn't even care about her own daughter. Like, she could care less about Yang. Like, Yang's literally could be killed, and she would not give a rat's ass. So I really don't think she would care about Raven hooking up with Taeyang. Like, I really don't think she would give a fuck. Because if she bailed on her own daughter, she bailed on Taeyang, she bailed on Crow.
I don't think she cared enough to kill Summer over it, but just saying that did nothing to foster good feelings toward Summer.
Yeah.
So I went back and I checked the video, and it goes Cinder, Vernal, Emerald, Mercury.
What's that?
That's who came out. That's the order they came out of the portal. Cinder, Vernal, Emerald, and Mercury.
Okay, so Mercury should have been just cut off.
They should have been cut off right at the end there.
I don't remember seeing anywhere about a rule that the person the portal was made to had to be the last one to come through.
Well, it just seems like the portal would cut off because the portal's linked to that person. So you would just have two portals right beside each other.
Yeah, but you have to remember that Raven is the one that made the portal, so she's the one that she can only summon portals to people she's bonded to, but she should be able to control how long the portal stays up.
Well, but the portal, I don't know, it just kind of seems like the portal is linked to the person, so if the person isn't there anymore, then the portal that's linked to the person, it's
still Raven's portal, though, so,
Yeah, but it's linked to the person.
How her portals truly work.
Yeah, they could.
Well, maybe she can hold the portals out for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because for example, when she said Yang and Weiss to Crow, Crow didn't step through the portal, so why would that affect the portal at all? And I'm pretty sure that the portal didn't stay there until Crow stepped through it. So.
Well, but that's because Crow is there. If Crow was to go through, then the portal linked to him would have to move to a different location. That's just my theory behind it, because she said it's linked to a person. If the person's not there, then there's no link.
True.
That's just where I see it. It's like...
I'm not entirely sure it works like that.
Yeah, no, so, we're not entirely sure. Does he?
They're through the portal.
Yeah, they went through the portal.
Nitpicking at minor details here.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Crow and Raven just pretty much disappeared in this fight. It's like during that whole encounter, I don't remember seeing a snippet of them fighting in the background at all.
No, they had that one scene.
Yeah, maybe they turned into birds and just started like pecking each other.
They start pecking each other as birds? No.
They're like, well, we gotta make it a fair fight, so let's just turn into birds and start pecking each other.
Yeah.
No, let's turn into birds and fight up here so that we don't interfere with the main characters down there.
Yeah.
Even though those two would be the most interesting fight to watch.
A RWBY theory.
Oh God, this again?
A theory. A RWBY theory. Thanks for watching.
You know what it is?
We're gonna get copyrighted.
Since Crow. So, because Crow said that they're no longer family. I bet they're out there fighting as birds, and then Crow's and they're like, "Come on, Raven, let me smash."
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Becky, let me smash.
Becky, let me smash.
I got you, Blue.
Oh no, wait.
Let's not. Let's end this one because this is.
We're getting to real creepy incest territory.
Oh,
it says
they're not family anymore. Crow said so.
No, he says let's smash, but then it comes to them playing Super Smash Brothers.
Oh God.
It doesn't work like that.
He says let's smash, and then we cut to them playing Super Smash Brothers.
Yes. That's how they solve things.
Coffee.
That's how they solve things in the tribe. They bust out the freaking Nintendo 64.
That's how anything should be solved anywhere. Wars could be prevented with Smash Brothers.
But if that were the case, South Korea would rule the entire world.
That's not necessarily true.
I don't know. Pretty much every tournament South Korea goes into, they win 9 times out of 10. Okay.
All right, let's get off of international war from over here.
International war with Smash Brothers, okay. Smash Brothers causes international war.
As the image of Weiss in the stream is doing, objection!
Yeah, that's where we're at. But so we saw that exchange between them two, and then we didn't see anything else. And Junkrat points out that Crow wouldn't win because his semblance is bad luck, therefore it would indirectly cost him the win. From what I understood was that the bad luck was supposed to happen for anybody in the fight. Like his bad luck emanates from him. So anybody around him...
Yes, he's not the one.
He
doesn't get bad luck. He gives bad luck to people around him.
Yeah, which... Maybe that's the reason she got hit by the fucking spear. And maybe that's the reason why fucking Cinder doesn't know how to throw a spear. Idiots.
Will there ever be a time that we mention that spear and you don't say that?
I mean, I could, but I mean, the spear was just so bad.
Maybe there will be a time, but it just won't be today.
It'll be next one when she doesn't have the crappy spear.
Cut to him 20 years later with a beard, and he's like, "What was I pissed about again?"
That damn spear.
So what do you guys think RWBY's reaction is going to be when she wakes up?
It'll either be
that's right, she didn't see you guys.
She's gonna forget everything. She's gonna have amnesia now.
Oh shit.
Oh
God, no, don't say that.
Cinder, and she's gonna become Salem Staff Lieutenant.
Oh my God.
Don't even give Rooster Teeth that idea. Like,
don't give RWBY that theory. Don't give them the idea. Mm-mm. Not happening.
They don't need any ideas.
Too late.
Shit.
Good thing they already made the next episode, huh?
Yep.
We've seen what RWBY has done. It's what the next episode she could wake up and then they just hit her in the head again.
Yep.
They just be like, "Fuck, that was a good idea. Go ahead and knock her back out."
God damn it.
She just wakes up and then like Hazel stomps her head in as punch Oscar.
Just total accident.
It's like, oh, what? Did I step on a bug?
Stepping on people.
And then we didn't see any We didn't see any of the fight between Yang and Mercury.
Except for the bit that was like, which was already the intro fight.
Yeah,
we only saw like a few snippets of it when everyone turned to look at Weiss getting stabbed.
Yeah, like they were just standing there and looking at each other is all we saw. Like there's
no, I mean, they had an exchange, but it was just like that. The intro's animation was from like at different angles, so that we have technically seen it. We've seen it for the entire volume.
We've seen about 12 seconds of it. It just seems like that rematch should have been. I don't know, that rematch could have been a lot more interesting because I think RWBY stated that if Mercury went all out, he could have killed Yang. I mean, isn't that the whole point of them being there?
Can I also point out something?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
The White Fang is fucking setting up charges to blow up the damn building.
Right.
They're blowing up the CCT. They're blowing up the CCT. They're not blowing up the.
No, they're blowing up the building. The CCT is in the building. They're fighting it.
No,
they're not. No, it's not. It's two different buildings.
They're fighting in the
They're
school.
fighting in like the headmaster area where they were in the very first episode of this volume. The CCTs.
But the way Hazel said it, he says no one's getting in, no one's getting out because the White Fang are setting charges.
No way in, no way out.
No way.
I think he meant.
Well, there could be White Fang members outside.
Well, then it also just looked like he locked the door.
Members are not going to stop RWBY. They've already proven that fact.
And then
hell, Salem could be out there. We don't know.
I guess we'll just have to wait for the Belladonna team to come over and kick the White Fang's ass.
Yeah, because since Blake's whole timeline with her plot was 2 weeks behind the current events with Ranger, yeah, I think they'll make it in time.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah,
they will.
Yeah, and then also, that's a lot of damn explosives. You don't need that much. You just need to hit the structural integrity. That's it. They've got like 1 million bombs on that damn thing.
I almost just said something really racist.
Well, you know what they say. If you're going to blow up something, make sure you blow everything up.
Well, yeah, but all you have to do is hit the structural integrity at the bottom and it all collapses in. It's like they're doing all this elaborate work, like climbing up the top of it. You don't need that. You just blow the main structure out bottom.
I almost said something really racist.
All you're pretty much going to do is pretty much just make it fall over.
Yeah, have you ever seen any of those videos where they collapse a 10-story building? That's like that thing just shatters into 1 million pieces.
If you put explosives everywhere, you're going to destroy it. Like,
it destroys.
They went destroy.
Yeah, but when, like Raven was saying, if you destroy the integrity, the weight of the actual building will collapse on itself, and literally it will be gone. There will be nothing left of that building. It'll be just a pile of rubble.
Wait, doesn't this bring another point? Because doesn't this bring another point? Because Haven is like in the middle. It's like on the cliff side of a mountain. Like if they detonate that much like explosives, won't the whole town just like fall down? Or start some sort of chain reaction that will just like crumble half the city.
It could.
How powerful the explosives are too.
Those things are like the size of people, like size of people's upper torsos. I mean, whenever we saw them crawling on there, those things were fucking huge. That's why I'm like, you don't need but 4 of those on structural points, and you're done. That's it.
I think those are the same type of bombs that are on the train in the end of Volume 2.
Adam likes explosions. Confirmed. Adam is Remnant's Michael Bay.
Yes.
Michael Bay.
It's a reason to kill him.
And then also like that many bombs, if they're unsynced for any reason, it's like you're just gonna send bombs flying. It's gonna be like a TNT cannon from frickin' Minecraft. You're just gonna have bombs flying everywhere. You don't know what the hell's going on. Someone's gonna catch one.
Bunch of cats living together, pandemonium. Horses eating each other.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yes,
that's my line.
Exactly, because I'm here.
I don't know, 3. We're everywhere today. Raven's sick, so we can't stay on topic because he'll get off topic again and forget what topic we're on.
Yeah, I have strep, and so talking hurts, and so I talk very little.
Saying, "What the fuck did I join?" 3 of Jay's saying, "What the fuck did I join?"
You came. You joined.
knows?
You joined a stream with
Jay,
4
who
people
knows,
that can't
man?
stay on topic, and the one guy that can keep them on topic is sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to keep us back on topic.
Too.
I'm trying.
Hey, no,
Maybe
I don't drink.
syrup.
Raven drinks a lot. Hey, yeah, Raven, God, stop drinking.
Yeah, Raven.
I'll see what I
Seriously,
can
dude,
do
get your
about that.
shit together.
But the juice is
That's
just
Crow's
so
job.
good.
Drinking can be nice.
Oh,
Hell,
you mean the other
tomorrow-
Raven?
Oh,
Never
I'm
mind.
talking about
Oh, that Raven.
Oops. Oops. Our bad.
Womp, womp.
Sorry, Raven.
Yeah, I drink because I can't be a mother. Don't you know?
It's okay. It's okay, Raven. I'm pretty sure Yang will give you a hand.
Ooh.
And we're back to this. Okay, back to the topic at hand.
Sorry.
We have so we see that Adam is there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we assume that
Seriously.
in the next episode we're gonna see Blake show up.
And stab him
Probably.
in the face?
We can only hope. But
Well, the title of the next episode is The Maiden's Vault.
so they get
Okay,
into
so
the vault.
Stab him in the chest and then shoot him in the dick. I mean, with her weapon, I'm pretty sure she can angle that to make both of those.
Just make sure Cinder doesn't do it then, because you can't aim for shit.
Yeah.
No, we're done talking about Cinder. We are done talking about.
castrate him and she somehow hits him in the kneecap.
Oh,
We are
God.
No!
done talking about her spear. We are done with that, okay? People, I'm so tired of hearing about her horrible form.
It's horrible.
Okay, let's talk about
So
her sword
horrible.
then.
I used to be a huntsman until I took a spear to the knee.
Oh my god, that one's
I used to be a huntsman.
Raven, I don't think we're not gonna be able to salvage this.
I'm trying so hard. It hurts to talk. I have to just let y'all ramble.
You put so many people with the same humor in the same podcast, okay?
I try so hard.
If you're gonna do the Skyrim line, do it with the accent. I used to be an adventurer like you, but then I took a spear to the knee.
Dude, seriously, go do voice acting. Fuck's sake.
I was an adventurer once, and then I took an arrow to the knee.
You can go do it too, Kato. It's fine.
Woohoo! Party. I was just saying, like, when basically I would tell if we ever if they ever like caught Cinder and like I don't know how they would restrain Cinder, but if they ever did,
restrain a maiden. I was about to say that.
I don't know. Like,
With
how do you
drugs.
just stop a maiden? Like, the only person that could probably stop a maiden
With an
is another
arrow to
maiden
the back.
would be Osmond.
Well, Ruby's their weakness.
And the Silver Eye Warriors.
Guys, that actually reminds me of something, because when Ruby kind of started going, all silver-eyed warrior, Cinder was like, my arm, but then Vernal was like, this is fine. So what the fuck is up with that? It's like only the Fall Maiden is the only maiden that's vulnerable to the silver eye power. Like, what the
we
fuck?
didn't really see her react to it.
I think
Yeah, but if there was the reaction to be had, I assume that they would show it.
No, because they were pretty focused on Cinder at the time for story plot purposes. I don't think they would really focus on Vernal.
They could like split the screen and then show both of them in pain.
Well,
Yeah, but it would take focus.
well, I think the deal is like she received such a massive injury.
She's like sensitive to it now.
Yeah, sensitive. But yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Kind of
because
like how-
we saw.
Kind of like how when you receive an intense pain in your body, you're still kind of sensitive to other stimuli around you. So I guess that by that logic, it makes kind of sense. Like
And
how
also,
you get a burn in your arm, and you suddenly that part of your arm is more sensitive to any other kind of stimuli around you. So it might work by that logic.
I want to point out that Ruby technically didn't fully use her power. Like, we saw the flash, and then the flash vanished, and then
Yeah.
She got bonked on the head.
well, it ended, and then Emerald knocked her out. That's the thing.
No. The thing ended when Emerald knocked her out.
How could that have been? Because when Ruby we're gonna put it this way: when Ruby activates her Silver Eye skills, everything goes white. No one can see anything.
Yeah, because she didn't fully activate them because she got knocked on the head before she could.
She got badonked.
She got badonked.
Hey, Echo. Well, no worries. We still got.
She got a big ass. Badonkadonk.
Badonkadonk.
Oh.
You know,
he's the one that's using words, okay?
You know who had the
words.
best badonkadonk voice was what's her face from Borderlands 2. Tiny Tina. Whenever she talks about putting the bombs in the badonkadonk.
The Technomancer?
No, Tiny Tina. She's one of the NPCs.
Yeah, Tiny Tina.
Tiny Tina.
I never actually played Borderlands, so I wouldn't know.
You're missing out. It's pretty good. It's a fun kind of stupid. It's like playing. It's like a Deadpool-esque game. Like it's just off the wall. But anyways, getting off topic. God, hate being sick. It's horrible. It hurts so bad. But so we saw. But the fight we didn't see much of either was between Ren, Nora, and Hazel.
Well, we got little snippets of their fight, and Hazel was just pretty much tossing Nora and Ren around.
Yeah.
That was literally all we really saw was him locking Nora's hammer and throwing him, and then grabbing Ren and throwing him across. But yeah, it was just pretty much a wrestling match.
But at the same point, though, he has no armor. She has a grenade launcher.
Like how tough he is.
Just it doesn't matter how tough you are. You shoot anything enough times with a grenade launcher, it's gonna start to get it in.
Yeah, but we also need to remember that even Ozpin was kind of like, watch him, he's dangerous. So being able to defend against a hammer hitting your arm, I don't see that as a big deal.
Well, I'm assuming they weren't combat ready.
Oh God!
Oh, God.
How dare you?
How's that ready?
Hashtag bring Benny back.
And then again, and then of course there's also that little snippet before they started fighting where Hazel's like, "I don't want to fight you," and Ren and Nora are like, "We don't want to fight either, but we have to," and it's like, "All right."
You're siding with her.
Yeah, you sided with her.
I think that would have been a better exchange if they said, "I don't want to fight. We don't either." All right, let's go sit down, and then just go sit down, just watch everybody else fight, and be like,
"Because Hazel,
they go get popcorn."
Because Hazel was only really there to just guard that giant lobby area. He wasn't really there to fight. He was just there to stand bodyguard.
Yeah.
If anything, somebody in our group mentioned this. They would have had Cinder fight Ruby and Jean, and Ren and Nora fight Emerald, and have Hazel still just stand guard at the door. That's probably how it should have been structured. At least.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
That's actually a really good point, 3 of J's. 3 said, for Ruby, it's like the silver eyes is like her different personality.
Literally, like if it's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh God! If it follows that,
Deus Ex Machina.
Crap.
I don't know, Echo. He might have, but we don't know if he was just there to guard the gate. We don't actually know that. Like, that's our assumption, but I don't know what would happen if Ren and Nora would have to fight someone else.
I mean, if they went to fight someone else, I don't think he would have. He's like, I don't want to fight you. He's very objective driven. If it's not something he wants or needs to do, he will not participate. And that we've seen that. We saw that whenever he went with Adam. He was like, no one had to die today, and Adam was like, I'm gonna kill anyways. And they could have.
I'm gonna kill her anyway. I'm gonna kill her anyway.
Yeah, essentially. I think that if they would have just fought someone else, he would have just chilled out and just watched. He doesn't. He seems like the type of person like he won't. He seems like a bouncer, very intimidating. But if you don't start shit with them, they won't start shit with you, and nobody gives a damn. Like that's what he seems like. Unless you're Ozpin, in which case he has a grudge against Ozpin because Ozpin did something.
And much like
maybe Ozpin gave him those scars that keep getting glimpses of. Maybe.
You just made me think it's so funny. And much like an actual bouncer, if you flash Hazel the girls, he'll let you in without being on the list.
Oh shit.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh, I think Blake's gonna get in. Duh.
Oh my god, what is wrong with me?
I mean, clearly a lot.
Yeah, just a little bit. But I mean,
oh my god.
Yeah, I see your point there.
But yeah, Hazel does seem like the kind of.
Jay says Ruby never remembers when she uses her silver eye powers, so maybe it is like a split personality right now.
Well, if anything, like basically any anime ever that has supreme power in their like latent power or anything like that, they could be, the power is so strong it enthralls the user. So basically the power takes over their mind, and it's kind of like more like a subconscious of that personality, and that's what basically, maybe that's what the Silver Eyes is. It's just so much power.
But
she doesn't.
There's also the question
my take from it was that the power was so great that it was too overwhelming, so she couldn't retain any memory, just because it was too overwhelming, not because she had like a second personality that took over.
Yeah,
it was just too much for her.
My other idea is Ruby's abilities as a silver-eyed warrior the same as her mother's? Like, do they have different types of abilities, or is it just that one thing?
Well,
we have no idea. We don't know what Silver Eyes.
I know, but I'm curious.
Is there more to the Silver Eyes than just a gigantic flashbang that can hurt people?
Yeah, whenever Ozpin said she could ask anything, why the hell wouldn't she ask more about that?
Right? Like, oh my god, I got so mad I wanted to throw my computer when she asked.
Probably exactly why because she doesn't remember what she did, so she didn't even cross her mind to think about it.
Crow informed her.
Yeah,
like,
I know Crow informed her, but
remember, if I put a giant fucking wyvern on top of the old beacon tower, I want to know how the fuck he did it, no matter how long it's been,
or how to use it.
Exactly. Like, she's probably I love Ruby. Ruby is one of my favorite characters. She's just so childish and pure and sweet, and sometimes really evil and vindictive if you get to the point. But like, sometimes she's in your head. Like, you would want to have any type of knowledge about yourself, especially something like as big as that. You would want to know, wouldn't you?
Like, I mean, that really depends. That really depends on your personality. Really.
Well, yeah, but the question she has, though, instead of trying to find that out, she asks, or she goes to ask if his cane is a relic. Like, that's really the question.
She could ask a million and other one things. Like, I don't know. How did why did she choose Pyrrha to become the maiden? Like,
yeah, there's a million questions that she could ask, and the one that they come up with is, she'll ask about the fucking
They really explained why they chose.
She didn't even ask if it was an artifact. She was just like, and he's like, do you have any other questions? And she looked up and she was about to say something. He's like, no, my cane is not an artifact. She's like, nothing then, and just skipped off. And then, like, there are a million questions that could have been asked, and she chooses that one.
Because plot.
Well, yeah. Plot. I want knowledge too.
Then again, Ruby's not us. If we were in that room, how different would that conversation go?
Well, she's a lot younger than all of us.
That's true.
She's still a kid.
Literally.
Yeah, we have to remember she's actually younger than everybody on her team because she got moved 2 years ahead.
She does not yet.
She's the youngest person in that entire room.
She doesn't know.
Not Oscar. Oscar's like really young too.
Yeah, but the fact is, if you think about it, Oscar's basically got the person who has the most combat experience than anyone in that room helping him. Well, not really helping him, but through the muscle memory and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, psst, attack him in the knee. That's basically what he's doing.
Yeah, and oh god, I was about to bring something up, but I just forgot it.
It's okay, we forgive you.
You don't speak for me.
I guess your thoughts really fell apart.
Oh god.
Oh, okay. I remember what I was going to say.
That's dark.
this is a bit different from what everybody else. It has to sort of
from what?
with how
You're dropping out again.
I'm a bit miffed at how we didn't really get to see the Fur Ranger like go on. Like
what? I didn't get that.
I didn't hear it. I didn't get any of it.
You dropped
the training for Ranger. We didn't get to see a single bit of it before this huge ambush. Like it was supposed to be brought up really big of like, oh yeah, we're gonna be able to train you to fight Salem and her motley crew, and then we only see the one scene where Oscar and Ruby are punching each other, and that's it.
And then Osmond kicks her ass.
Yeah, and then they talk some more for the top. And the pacing literally felt like a 0 to 100 thing. It didn't feel gradual because we didn't see any fucking progression in their fighting, which would have made things a bit spicier. I don't know. I'm confident everybody else here feels the same way.
Yeah, there's definitely
rushed, kind of.
If I can liken the latest volumes to something, it feels like a Skin and Bones kind of story, where they have the hook for volumes.
You're cutting out again, buddy.
Yeah, you're dropping out.
Okay, well,
come back to us. Oh, there you are.
Jack, all right, come back.
No.
So Skin and Bones story. That's what I call volumes 4 and 5. Skin is the synopsis, and the skeleton is supposed to be the end goal. They don't have the muscles for the action. They don't have the nerves.
Yeah, they don't flesh out. They didn't flesh out either the last 2 volumes. It seemed.
Yeah, because you have to look at it like this too. Like if they would have just gave us training episodes for like the last 3 or 4 episodes that we're gonna have, and then we had to wait a whole other season for the actual fight, the fandom would have been pissed.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure that they would have had the training stuff and then this ambush near the very end.
But they can only have so many episodes in one season. They freaking number and plan out these seasons.
So, does anybody know why they have why they do a very limited volumes?
Oh, I have
probably because of voice actor restrictions and like shit like that.
Yeah. Probably production issues, or rush production time, because they have a lot of shows they work on. Camp, RWBY Chibi, upcoming Genlock, Red
versus Blue.
Well, with the newest...
RWBY's one of their top
RWBY is
shows.
The top. RWBY took over Red versus Blue. They announced that at RTX last year. RWBY overtook RWBY. You would think they would do a dedicated RWBY cast whenever RWBY in that short time frame became their most popular show.
I did just remember something else about how RWBY's gotten bigger. They did get a lot more animation staff in there. You want to know? Because one of my oldest friends from Texas.
You're cutting out again.
God damn it!
One of your oldest friends from?
One of my oldest friends from Texas went to IkiCon in Dallas, which is an anime convention over in Texas, and he met one of the animators for RWBY there. Now, because this is a public internet deal, I don't want to get this animator in trouble with Rooster Teeth for bringing any information up, so I won't say his name. But he did elaborate to my friend. We got a whole bunch of staff in, and he also showed him the behind-the-scenes kind of workings on how they work with the fight scenes and the talking scene. And it just seems like producing the show itself is a bit problematic. It seems a bit too hectic for the workplace.
Yeah, well, they moved away from mocap with the new engine.
With the new engine.
If they would have stuck with mocap, it seems like that would have been... The fight scenes could have been a little more expedited, because at that point they can have a specific crew that does the fights.
Well, yeah, while the rest moves in the fights that people just can't reproduce.
Well, I agree with. There's this other YouTuber, Cake, that he kind of made the point that the fight scenes have lost their basis in reality, even in the RWBY world, once they got rid of the mocap, because even in volume 1, 2, and 3, we saw that we saw out of this world outlandish fighting, but we saw a lot of basis in what we would generalize as normal reality. Whereas in Volume 4 and 5, we saw them doing these outlandish, like, flips and twirls and all the stuff that you wouldn't see anybody doing. Like, that episode, episode 4, whenever Yang was fighting the bandits, she did that little fist thing and did this twirly gig in the air and then landed behind them. It's like, that seems totally out of place. It really did.
I actually was thinking about that earlier today. Like, I think it wasn't more of the fact that they were going for the realist. It was to show that she's not the same fighter that she used to be. Because Yang used to just run right up to people and just punch them in their face. She had really no strategy when it came to fighting. She just punched them to death.
Yeah, but she's a kickboxer though. She's a kickboxer. That would have been.
She's got combat strategy, and I think that's what more they were trying to show.
Yeah.
I don't think they tried to make it that way in a sense. Like, I don't think that was their goal.
Yeah, no, I agree that maybe that. But if they would have still done it as mocap, they could have done it like instead of her doing that big twirly.
More naturally, they could have made it more natural.
They could have made it a more natural fight because she is a kickboxer. Kickboxers and she's a grappler. We've seen little grapples from her. She could have dodged the attack, gone into a grapple, things like that. So we could have seen more of a combat basis rather than this twirly gig thing. It seems like they, and then if they would separate the fight crew from the story crew and just have them converse about how the fights need to go, it seems like they would be able to get a lot more done a lot faster. That's just, I don't know how it works. That's just my theory, because you're separating it rather than having all animation working like that. Because when you do
melting pot of animation,
when you do mocap, there's people that do that. They know what they're doing. They know how to choreograph fights because that's what they do. Whereas you have animators that don't choreograph fights. They see fights on TV. They see fights online. They watch other animes, but they don't see
the intricacies.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas whenever you get those when you do mocap, because you have to get the proper fighting techniques in, because there's no detail in when you do it without the fighting.
I wouldn't really ping Yang as a kickboxer because we've already seen that Yang's great at hand-to-hand combat, but she's not good with any other type like that. Like, if she goes against people who specialize in kicks, she has difficulty with them.
Well, yeah, that's just a fighting style, because
I think Yang's whole fighting style changed from boxer to kickboxer from volumes 1 through 3 up to 4 and 5. Like,
now I would more ping her towards a kickboxer, but before I wouldn't ping her towards that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she obviously had a bit more of a boxing stance, and she obviously didn't use kicks that often. But nowadays,
well, we saw her use a kick in her trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kicked her right in the face, and that led to a grappler. She's a grappler because she grappled her and then came around with a roundhouse kick and knocked her straight to the ground. So, I mean, she does have a grappling and kicking history. She might have just leaned more toward the boxing aspect of kickboxing, but we have seen her use kicks and stuff throughout several fights.
Right. Although not as prominently as nowadays.
Yeah, definitely not as prominently.
My point I like to make is, from volumes 3 into 4 and 5, her fighting style has changed, sort of. Am I not wrong? Her fighting style has changed.
Yeah, we've seen this.
Yes, it has.
So basically, her fighting style has changed. Main reason why I think that, because back on volume 4 with the whole sparring match with Tai Yang, she basically, he explained to her, he's like, you're all about brute force, going into it, shotgunning in there, where basically, Tai Yang basically, told Yang, there's more than one. He's like, you can find a way around it. That basically, going in brute force isn't always the best move.
And as
that's why
Yang said, Yang, not everybody's semblance is a temper tantrum.
Basically, it's not like exactly. So basically, that probably influenced her change in combat style just a smidgen. She thinks things through a little bit more to say, hey, should I go all in on this group of people, or should I reevaluate it in mid-fight? That's why she's being different, because she's evaluating her fight instead of just punching in aimlessly and kicking aimlessly and grappling aimlessly until she comes out with a W.
Yeah, like if Yang was still her old self and fighting those bandits, she probably wouldn't have asked the question, "Is this all of you?"
Yeah.
She would have just gone gung ho.
Yeah, should have been way cockier.
Yeah, Junkrat makes a good point. Volume 1, 2, and 3 is more like Bruce Lee fighting, and 4 and 5 is more hi-fi pro wrestling. Like it's very over the top and dramatized. Whereas 1, 2, and 3 is very tight knit and intricate fighting. So, and that's can be due to the fact that they went from mocap to full animation.
Yeah, like going a bit more flashy, which I personally don't mind, but I can see the reasons why like people intimate, the more interpersonal, more intricate, like blink and you'll miss it kind of details.
Yeah, which I mean, when they did mocap, it's like if they wanted to move more toward the pro wrestling type of high fly stuff, they still could have, because that can always be added in, after the mocap and things like that, like in between mocap scenes, because like not when you mocap the whole scene, but if that's where they would be able to get with that team and be like, listen, we want to do this here. So the mocap team could do their fight, and then in between it, they could add in their flashy stuff for the high flying and things like that. But
right, and
it just seems like they would get more production if they were to bring back a mocap team and give people that know what they're doing when it comes to fighting. Let them fight, let them deal with that, and then they can focus on story and animation. Because
I get the sense that I think I heard before that they do still kind of do mocap, but not for like the larger action scene anymore. Like probably for the more smaller stuff. Like I remember hearing that Weiss falling over from getting hit with the spear was mocap. Like if you watch Murder of Birds' discussion stream, Kim Newman, one of the animators, was in his chat and mentioned, yeah, I did the mocap for that scene.
Yeah, I mean, they still mocap a little bit, which is good, and you can definitely see a difference in it whenever things are mocapped. But it seems like they could up production, one, because RWBY is Rooster Teeth's biggest show right now. So it seems like they should have a mocap team so that they can be a more productive team. And it seems like they cut themselves short. Yeah, so they
could be run better.
Yeah, it seems like they could use a mocap team to run their fights, and they could use a. It seems like they cut themselves short when they try to put all the plot and everything into 14 episodes.
Yeah, or more like, well, what plots they really could spare for the season, because every story has to have some level of like way to get some kind of interesting padding. There's no such like any kind of tight story there is has to have some kind of padding, or at least something to delay them to the end goal. Every story has that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't just have it be like the prince immediately goes to the dragon's castle. The prince has to stop at various, maybe prepare himself.
You're breaking out again.
God damn it. Is it your internet or is it mine?
No, you're breaking out, I think, for all of us.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty sure it's yours.
God damn it, Iowa.
You can come to my place. I have great internet.
No, if I'm moving out of this place, but anywho, yeah, you can't just have an end goal with nothing in between the beginning and the end, because then it's just going to be like, whoa, what do we put here? And they just haven't really done the middle very well.
Yeah.
And that's not just an issue with these newer volumes either. That's also something that's been prominent in the older volumes. Like somebody in the chat said that Volume 2 was also a bare bones kind of story, and I agree with that. Like Volume 2, the only really big plot relevant thing was Cinder putting the virus into the CCT back at Beacon. And Volume 1, there was the introduction of Cinder at the end of Volume 1, like the end credit scene. But besides that, nothing. No Salem stuff. Like, it was literally just a bunch of classmate stuff and Jean's whole bully arc.
Well, yeah, but you have to think about that. If you put too much stuff in the beginning, too much information in the beginning, everyone's gonna get lost and they'll just be like, what is this? What is that? This is too much information coming at me. I don't know what to do.
That's true, but
basically, if you throw a well of information at someone, they're gonna be just like, they're gonna be confused as hell. Like it's equivalent. It's equivalent to basically teaching a person, who's never swum before, just kick him in the deep end. Like,
been there, done that.
There's just so much shit.
That's what my dad did.
Yeah, you gotta ease them into it. You're like, all right, get in the shallow end, and then you just work your way over. That's basically what they're doing. They're not just throwing Salem. Hey, there's this chick. She's evil. She controls Grimm. Right out the gate.
Actually,
it removes the mysteriousness behind Grimm.
We did technically meet Salem in the first episode.
Yeah, because
she is the voiceover for the intro.
She's the narrator, yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't know that was Salem.
I know, but I'm just pointing out that they already had Salem.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They also had her at the end of Volume 3, narrating again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then showing her basically standing over a cliff.
I don't know. I just didn't see, anytime somebody says that the current volumes don't have much going on in them, I point back to earlier volumes and I'm like, look at Volume 2. Besides the Cinder virus thing.
And the most epic food fight ever.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but I'm shrugging. I'm actually shrugging in front
of
my
I think the
laptop
reason
now.
Volume 2 gets a pass, though, is because the fight scenes were pretty nice. They were fun. The reason I think Volume 2 gets a pass for story is because the fight scenes were there to babysit it. Whereas we haven't really had that in Volume 4 and 5.
Volume 4 and 5 have been much darker than the first 3. Let's just
definitely
also say that. So there's a different tone.
The first 2.5.
It makes sense. Yes, whichever. It just makes sense that the later volumes wouldn't be as fun and light and
Salem don't give a fuck.
Salem don't give a fuck.
Also that, yes.
Salem does not give a fuck who dies. As long as she gets the relics, she doesn't care who dies.
Which is one of the leading ideas as to how Lionheart might get killed by Salem because, Haven Falls, he's outlived his usefulness.
He serves no purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just tools to be used.
Yep.
And discarded when done.
But anyways, we're running on an hour and 40 minutes, so let's finish this up.
Shit. We have to mention the artwork of this person, this beautiful person that made this beautiful artwork.
Yeah, we're probably going to see a lot of this person.
This person
is really, really good.
Rusty artist.
Great.
He has a lot of stuff, and I would definitely go check it out. He has a lot of awesome RWBY stuff. We're going to see more from him. There's too much of his to put in one episode. He has a ton of RWBY stuff, so definitely go check him out. It's some really cool stuff over there.
Yeah, leave that in the Discord too.
Yeah, please.
So I can look that up.
And Ratchet Chaka.
Closest thing I'll ever get to a pretty girl.
That's depressing as fuck, dude.
No, boy.
Weiss.
Weiss is queen.
Weiss is queen.
Yes.
But, alright. Well, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. It was awesome. Thank you, everybody, for coming here and trying to stay on topic as best we could.
Well, an effort was made.
I am glad to provide my dank self any day.
The dank, yeah.
I am the dank. I am the knight. I am the spinner.
See, maybe you don't get chicks because you're so dank.
Yeah.
Then they're just like, oh my god, get away from me! I need to get a towel.
I'm female and I don't even get women.
Okay.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh my god. Okay. So, on that note, everybody, y'all have a wonderful weekend. And next week is the final episode for this volume, right? Right?
No.
Yes.
No.
There's one more.
Is there one more? Is it 14 or 50?
No, there's one more.
There's 2 more after this one. It's
Is there?
14 episodes.
Oh, really?
This-
Sweet.
What episode is this? I thought this was a
It's 12.
This is
12.
episode 12.
Oh, right. We're going to
Episode
14
12
this
is coming
season.
out
Never mind.
tomorrow.
I'm thinking yeah, never mind. Yeah, no, y'all right.
You're thinking volume 4.
Yeah.
This episode this week was episode 11. Next week is episode 12.
No,
Okay.
next week is
tomorrow's
episode
Or this
12.
week.
Next
Tomorrow's
week-
12.
Tomorrow's 12.
Well, today for me, because it's
13,
already
14.
Saturday for me, so.
Must be
Oh,
nice.
lucky for you.
Oh, good for
I mean,
you.
I can
Oh,
still
shit.
I can still only watch it. I can still only watch it on like Tuesday at like 3 in the afternoon.
Oh.
Well,
I
I'll
can't
make
watch
sure to
it
keep
till
my
I
mouth
get home
shut.
from work.
Okay.
I can't watch it till I
Because
get
I-
home from work.
No.
I don't do spoilers.
Everybody, y'all have a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch y'all next week. If y'all want to be part of the podcast, shoot me a message. We can put you in
But
the
not,
random.
like, literally. Because he's sick. Remember, don't shoot the sick man.
Well, if it was Cinder, then it would never make it to him.
Oh my god, okay,
It-
and that's
Because she
why
sucks
you
at
guys
throwing
have to
things.
fight.
I had to get one last Cinder joke in. I'm done.
Okay. On that note, I can't talk anymore. That hurts so bad. Y'all have a good one.
I'm gonna go get some
Later,
cheese.
guys.
Bye, guys.
I need to get some burgers.
Oh, yes, please.